Hi, welcome to the third video of 6 on online legal research. In today's session, we'll be looking at Jade, which is the second most popular open access resource available to the legal community and also to the community at large. Now, Jade was founded in 1999 by a barrister who felt that the online resources were not sufficient to help him write submissions. So what Jade does is it ingests content from the courts and also from the parliaments and actually run it through coding and specific AI, which allows us as users to see how cases or legislation has been treated or applied. So I'm going to show you now how to use Jade. There's two sides of Jade. There's the free Jade, available to all, and also there's the Jade Professional, which allows you to do very special things. To get access to Jade Professional, you need to contact the editor and tell them what year you're in university, which university you're going to, and get your password, and you're ready to rock and roll. There are 3 things I want to show you about Jade today. If you need an in-depth session on training with Jade, do contact the editor as well. Now, why would I come to Jade? I come to Jade because it's a really quick way for me to find a case. Now, I'm going to type in Cadelpha. You can see that the system really tries to predict what I'm trying to get to. Now, if you're doing contracts law, you will encounter Cadelpha, one of the most popular and most cited case in Australia. So I'm going to go there, Cadelpha. I can click there. However, because I'm a nerd and I actually remember these things, and we will talk about medium neutral citations. That's 1982 High Court of Australia, volume 24. So that's Cadelpha. I hit return, and what you will see is it finds it for me, which is the first one. There you go. I'm going to click on Cadelpha, and the judgment will then appear. This is what it looks like. Now, please remember, if you want to look at source, always go back to the source of the document, which is the original publisher, which is the High Court of Australia. Here you go. That's the High Court of Australia. You can see the library and the judgments available there too. Now, going back to Jade, why would I come here? I'm going to scroll down now, and you'll see these little flags appear here. So the clever people in Jade has run or passed through all the judgments and also legislation to see who's actually cited this paragraph. The most popular paragraph is the one which has Justice Mason speaking, in which he says, and I quote, "It goes without saying." So this is the most popular statement he's made on this decision, and it's been repeated many, many times. So this flag, when I click on this flag, it tells you when this paragraph has been recently referred to. So paragraph 2, this one, has been referred to in the Federal Circuit Court of Australia by His Honour in this context. And that's why Jade is good, that it allows you to look at the granularity of the cases. Now, the other cool thing about Jade, I'm going to scroll up now, and I'm going to show you another citation which is also pointing to Cadelpha. And I'm going to do this, and you're going to look at this and go, what is that? CLR. Well, we're going to have another session which talks about citations of courts. So CLR means Commonwealth Law Reports. It points to authorized or reported judgments coming up from the High Court. So it's volume 149 at paragraph 337, and at paragraph 352 is that paragraph I told you about, whereby Justice Mason says it goes without saying. Let's click on this. Now you can click on Document in Jade, which goes to the paragraph of judgment, or you can go to Show Citations, in which the clever algorithm here will actually show you all the cases since 1982 which has referred to paragraph 352. So that's paragraph 352 of Cadelpha, which has been frequently cited, and that's why I would use Jade. Now you can also look at Jade as a way of reading cases. They do format the cases in a really easy to read manner. So if I scroll down, that's the catchwords there and the decisions. And if you scroll down, you keep seeing all these little flags, which indicates how these judgment, this paragraph specifically, has been referred to since 1982. Now, if you look to the left-hand side, there are 3 little pancakes over here. If you click on those pancakes, it actually tells you where you're at. We were just now at the paragraphs of Justice Stephen. The other way I'm using Jade is to actually run a keyword search. Let's say you have a assignment, that A word, in which you would have to consider genuine redundancy and also how do you calculate entitlements and how do people do it. In the year of COVID, a lot of people were made redundant, and also a lot of employers allegedly were making their staff redundant as well. So I'm going to show you now how to now start using boolean. And you would be thinking, this person cannot spell, which is a problem. Okay, so what is boolean? So boolean are little connectors here, little doggy ears here, the phrasing, and also the words or the letters WP and the asterisks. So what I'm telling the system is to show me anything in case law and legislation which deals with genuine redundancy within paragraph, the word entitle, and as a little asterisk there. The asterisk wildcards the search, which means I want entitlements, entitling, anything with the word entitle. So hit return, and you'll see all the cases which returns genuine redundancy and entitlement, entitling. So this is a short introduction, a very fast introduction into the usage of booleans. I'll spell boolean here so you know what it is. It's a language specifically designed by a mathematician, George Boolean, in the 1800s, and it's used by coders and it's also used by researchers to narrow the results. It works a bit like if X, then Y, then Z. It's a really good way to understand what you want to find. For example, if I don't use Boolean, so we had 100 results. If I do this, if I do not put any limitations, you will see the results are a little bit strange. There's no rhyme and reason to it. On the other hand, I'm going to do another one, another Boolean, which is W/S, which means within sentence, and now I'm going to do this. And what is that? I'm not shouting. So WS means within sentence. Trust, exclamation mark, means I'm stopping or truncating that word. I do not want trustees or trusting or trusteeship. I just want trust. Hit return, and you should be able to get pretty good results that way too. So this is one of the ways that I would look for a case which deals with genuine redundancy and trust. So I'm going to click on this, and the same thing will appear. You've got the case here, the catchwords, and also the little flags which tells you that paragraph 6 has been cited by another court in 2019. Just to recap quickly, Jade has almost all decisions from the courts nationally. So if you want to know what they cover, go to Home, go to Jade browser, and actually find the collection there. That's where you would be able to find what the registry that you're looking for. Registry means court. Now the last thing I want to show you is how to look up legislation. That you really should go back to source when you look at legislation. This is because you want to know it's current and it's the correct piece of legislation that you're referring to. So for example, I'd go to FRL, which looks at the Commonwealth legislation, inventory of legislative instruments, or you can go to the New South Wales site, or Victorian, or Western Australian, or South Australian. I now want to take your attention to looking at how you would look up a piece of legislation and what cases refer to that legislation. Now, if you remember what piece of legislation that is, so for example, if you know it's the Civil Procedure Act, and Jade will actually predict for you, is that the one you want? You can go there, click, and locate the provision. It's indexed for you already. That's one of the beauty of Jade, and you can go to any of the provisions and it will take a wee while to load. Section 22 has 164 cases referring to it. If you click on this, it should show you the most recent citation, which refers to section 22 of CPA, and that's the paragraph which refers to it. Now, on the other hand, if you know the section, so that was section 22, I can do this. And that's the shortcut of doing it. S22 Civil Procedure Act. That looks at the act, it previews it for you. Or if you take the third option, show citations, it tells you all the cases, which refers to section 22 of CPA New South Wales. It's very handy. Now, the other thing I'd like to show you is Uniform Civil Procedure Act. These are the two acts which will really provide the foundation of how you practice as a lawyer. So you can actually go that way. And again, I want to preview what Rule 14.3 is, or I want to preview all the cases which cites Rule 14.3 of the Uniform Civil Procedure Act. It takes a while because there are a lot of play cases which comes out. So we started with the case which was Cadelpha. There's Cadelpha. And then we looked at keyword searches using boolean, redundancy, trust. And then we hopped to legislation. For example, section 22 of the Civil Procedure Act, in which you can preview the act, the provision itself. That's the provision there. Or you can preview the cases by clicking on Show Citations. Now, I'll keep banging on about the little clips. So I'm going to go to McAvoy to talk about these little clips here. Now, there are no citations for this case, so I'll go back to Cadelpha to talk about those amazing clips. And this is why Jade is different and very unique in the sector, because it does have this extra oomph. These little clips are important, not because I say so, but it tells you what cases since 1982 has been referring to. So most recently, 2021, in the Western Australian Supreme Court, it referred to paragraph 4 of Cadelpha. And Cadelpha is a 38-year-old case, yeah? So why do I keep telling you this? When you write your essays and your assignments, and in fact, in your exams, you can't just say, because it is so. It doesn't work like this. And they being the law school, is training you up to think about putting a foundation to your argument. The argument must be backed up with a precedent on authority or case. The three interchangeable terms. So your authority is paragraph 4 of Cadelpha, and you will need to keep saying this all the time when you write. This is the key thing which will make you an A student, that you know how to point to what paragraphs, and these little flags will show you how these authorities work. So you can't just say, this is amazing because. You have to say, this is amazing because on paragraph 4 of Cadelpha, Justice Stephen said so. So that's it for Jade. It's a little bit long-winded, but I hope that you're able to see what the benefit is in using the system. Please contact the editor to get the username and password. You will be able to gain access to all the features that I've shown you today, and also contact them for training. The law librarians would be able to train you, but you can also contact the editor this way and get a personalized session. Thank you very much for your time. Thanks for stopping by. Look after yourself whilst you're studying. Love.